Precious Gemstones.
Yeah. I forget his name. And
Adam Devine.
Yeah, I think his was better.
His character on the new season is way over the top.
Oh, that's perfect.
They really pushed that whole
narrative.
Yes, the narrative is like so crazy now. Let me just turn this off so we don't hear any fart noises.
The fart noises are what make this program.
And make it delicious.
You 21 people are missing it.
There's only 21 subscribers, but thousands of people listen to the clips.
Yeah, don't make any sense.
It does.
It doesn't matter.
People are what people are.
That's right.
Cheers, sir.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
To a new Talking on Toilets. Why is mine so much more yellow? Did I just...
Oh, I put water in mine.
Oh, I thought I maybe had peed in my own glass.
Yeah, maybe. I just dumbed mine down.
Mine's dehydrated. I got kidney issues.
So, how's it feel to be wrong on your climate denying?
I don't know what you're talking about.
1,000 degrees outside. We're melting as we speak.
I feel very comfortable. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Got that man-made air in here.
Love it.
The water in the water in Florida is like 100.
Fuck Florida.
I agree.
And their water.
Yeah, well, they're a bunch of animals. But, I mean, I'll tell you what I heard worse from...
They're basically just sweaty Jersey people.
And old. God's waiting room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they got to go.
There's like, at the border, there's just a guy with a sickle ready.
Just touching people, seeing if they can drop.
Yeah.
The worst story I heard out of Florida, worse than the 103-degree water or whatever, is some manatee was in captivity. He got raped by another manatee and died.
Ooh. Wow.
Male-on-male crime in the manatee community.
I'm telling you. Yeah, that's crazy.
Must like a prison violation because it was in captivity.
I got a little chubby.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for waking me up.
Yeah, well, hey.
I didn't even need coffee.
I bring in the hot stories.
Coming in hard.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, at least that poor manatee.
That fucking guy.
He got tore up by another manatee.
That's a lot of climbing. Would you say?
That sounded awful.
All manatee sex is hogging.
That's right. It's all pigging.
It's all pigging.
Is it all pigging or is it all like that's their thing? Think there's pigs within the pigs?
You mean that's just their zone?
But yeah, that's their baseline is hogging. So
right.
if you're hogging, you're way up there.
Where would you jump on a whale?
Well, I mean, like, yeah.
A little tiny manatee trying to bang. Well, by the way, that's going to be a great graphic for this video.
That's right. There's some manatee chasing around a whale. They, like, you think, though, like even for manatee's sake, they're like, whoa, what are you doing over there, Bob? What? She's cool.
They start talking down to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why? Yeah. What are you doing, man?
You're supposed to do that behind closed doors, not take it out in public.
Yeah. Why don't you go bang an orca?
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. That's feisty.
Are they like the goth chicks of the underworld, undersea world?
With the orcas?
Yeah. Because they're all black.
I was thinking of
right?
like they're all deathcore from Sweden or whatever.
Okay.
Those guys.
All right.
Walk around with that makeup on.
Right. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
They're all wearing black and maybe fishnets.
And a lot of white paint. That white paint.
Right. Dark lips.
Yeah. The logo looks like it's broken glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the stuff. Yeah, that's an orca.
That's the ticket.
So if you were to rank them, that's the death metal. So
the Norwegian
death metal. I mean, so there's no other metal band. There's no other beluga whales. Are they like intelligent, like hipsters? Because I mean,
I think well, I mean, it's in the name, killer whale. That's the most metal whale of all. Right? Blue whale just sounds like somebody making a couple extra bucks.
Sperm whale.
So
he's taking care of business.
Do they ever hook up? The blue whale and the sperm whale?
By default, they must have. Somebody had to name it.
Is there a bus station somewhere under the sea?
Atlantis.
There you go. Is there 11th Avenue bus station?
It's what do you call it? It's Port Authority. Atlantis. They'll meet up there.
That's where they hang out.
You figure, because we
Do you think Atlantis is real? Because there's a lot of stories about.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff under there that got buried, flooded,
Yeah.
and things shifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? What I think is just some of those pirates were rowing around out there and they saw the blue whale taking care of the sperm whale, and that's how they named them. It's like, well, that's the blue whale for obvious reasons. And
All right. Let's get into this a little bit. How do you get the name sperm whale?
Like I said,
That's not ambergris. You're not making perfume out of that.
no, but he's making
Unless
love.
there's something about Mary. Put a little dab behind your ear.
Oh, the hair gel. Yeah, I mean,
I gotta look this up.
oh boy, what did they make?
Oh, we're in it already.
Well, they made what?
Give me a leg.
The whaling stuff in Connecticut and all that. They were making soap and different oils, obviously.
Saying there was whales in Connecticut.
There was a whole whaling community in Connecticut, in Mystic, Connecticut.
You mean a bunch of whales? What do they call a group of whales?
Pod? Or is that just killer whales? I don't know. But no, up in Connecticut, there's a whole whaling village. Isn't that Mystic or...
Excuse me.
Jesus Christmas.
Come on. What the hell's the name? I don't know why this always switches back to moderate.
Because the government's watching.
What is a group of whales called?
I thought it was a pod right there.
A pod. That's terrible. You can't say a pod of sperm whales.
Considering they used it for kids during the pandemic.
How did sperm whales get their name? How did the sperm whale get its name? Encyclopedia Britannica, by the way.
Old school, baby.
This isn't some Wikipedia bullshit.
This is the old school. The largest of the toothed whales.
They got toofs.
That's one big ass whale.
All right.
Did you see that too with the whales? Did you see them eat the kayak guys and spit them out?
Where?
I don't know where that was, but it...
Oh, I thought you were telling me on the page I was at.
No, in real life, like a couple days ago.
They're saying the body
organ.
shape is similar to sex cells?
Is that what they're saying?
So. I don't think so.
I thought right there. What's that say? During the harvest, this organ, now called the spermaceti organ, was discovered to contain the white liquid that whalers mistook for sperm.
Hold on. Let's
Yes.
back this up a minute. The whale's common name originated during the heyday of the commercial whaling industry from the end of the 18th century through the 19th century. The head of the sperm whale contains an enormous fluid-filled organ, which whalers call the case. During harvest, this organ, now called the spermaceti organ, was discovered to contain a white liquid that whalers mistook for the sperm of the whale. So they thought that they had jizz in their brains.
So I was right.
They thought they were all guys.
Right. So I was right. You saw one whale blowing another whale,
I totally want to put my feet up.
and the whale that got rid of the white fluid was the sperm whale. Simple.
Oh
simple.
my god!
I don't think whalers were that.
How big do you think a whale's load is?
I think it probably could.
Is it like an oil slick?
I think it's worse. I wonder if you could sink the boat.
Definitely would anchor it.
Yeah, right.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, everybody's just they're all going about their business and they're just stuck. Like a
Big
Spider-Man.
old cruise ship just comes to a halt and everybody dives forward 5 feet.
Yeah, you think the guy could shoot his sperm into the rudder or the motor and just lock it up like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it could have happened. I'm picturing it. That's the problem.
But yeah, whales are on. Besides that thing we talked about a few weeks ago, where the whales were learning how to hit boats. Now they're eating. They spit the kayakers.
They were
back out.
teaching their kids how to do it.
Well, you got to pass down what you know.
Those
right?
goth bitches are crazy.
Yeah. Well, you saw the movie.
I lived with one.
The goth bitch or an orca whale?
Goth bitch.
Oh. I was going to say I'd be floating around all the time.
Brooke was fucking out of her minds, dude.
Yeah.
Minds?
Mine? Yeah, two?
Woo! Somebody's been
Now-
drinking tequila.
Yeah. Your battery's running low. You might want to plug your PC in.
I thought I plugged it in.
Yes, folks, we're ripe with errors and
There we go.
mistakes.
Just didn't stick it in
I thought
all
you
the
meant
way.
you were living with a sperm or a orca and you were just kind of floating around in a floaty the whole time.
Yeah, we snuggle on the couch.
Once in a while, we'd bring you down so you can't breathe and then let you go.
Yeah, it's just a
You think that's what it
Makes
does?
the furniture a little damp and musty. But
You saw that terrible, right? Blackfish. You saw that doc, right?
no, I didn't. I saw
Terrible.
interviews with the guy, multiple, on Rogan's podcast.
Pretty terrible. Pretty bad, you know.
Circumstances.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was the SeaWorld or whatever, right?
And they
Yeah.
started with the killing. I think it did that just to let them know this could happen. You know what I mean? Like she just happened to be the warning shot.
Right.
If you don't do something about this.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, those things are massive. You're going to put them in a tank. You're going to put them in a soup bowl. Just a pot. Just let them roll around.
Do you think killer whale sushi would be good?
I don't know. I'm not Japanese. Bet you they ate it. You think, well, people ate whale, right?
Fuck you, whale.
They ate
You ever
whale.
see those South Park?
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a great episode. Fuck you, whale. It's amazing.
Didn't they eat whale? Like all these
Yeah.
harvests, they ate them, right?
Yeah.
So I
They still do, I think.
yeah, that they had that thing where the cruise ship was docking, and all of a sudden they came upon the harvest
Yeah.
at the Faroe Islands. We
Mhm.
talked about that. You would have heard that if you.
Where are the Faroe Islands?
We talked about that too, I think.
I know, but I don't remember shit. I'm looking.
Me
for,
either.
I'm looking for my glasses on my head, but
If-
they're not there.
We don't. We can get away with repeating stories because we don't have enough people listening. So
Yeah, nobody's paying attention.
right. So we just keep saying the same shit over and over again. Imagine they were right off Ford's.
The Fords Islands.
Yeah, the Faroe Islands. More. Was it?
Oh, in between Iceland and Norway.
And that's where they were parking the boat?
Wait a minute. How the Japanese ships get over there?
Well, that wasn't Japanese whalers. I think it was Iceland. I think it was those people.
Oh.
But my question
Well,
is...
they live in the north. What else are they going to eat?
Well, my question is this, is what's going on in the Faroe Islands that a cruise ship needs to park there? Is that just like a refueling to get to Iceland or Norway or whatever?
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Doesn't Scandinavia look like a fucking ball bag and a cock?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird that it's shaped like that.
They had their reasons.
You got a tickler on this side.
Do you think just somebody was just having a good time? A cardiographer was like,
Cardiographer.
isn't that what they are?
He's half dance instructor and half heart guy.
What are they called? Cartographer?
A cartographer, yeah.
I like like he's a cardiologist? Cardiographer?
Cardiographer.
But you think he does that for fun? Like, yeah. I mean, we can make these square, make them a lot nicer, but yeah, let's make this one like a dick.
The only thing they made square was Middle America, right?
Yeah. The flyover state says.
It's kind of a
Democrats
douchey
call it.
thing to say,
You know, it's you Dems. That's what you call it.
right? Considering so much comes from there.
Right. Like the majority of how we survive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a real douchey thing to say.
Well, that's because they're douches. Let's be honest. Politician.
I remember
and douche.
being in I'm trying to remember what class it was. It was a web design class, but I don't remember what specifically about it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, some woman who is very New York specific, let's say,
I get it.
was talking about, and this is like 2008 maybe, was like, I don't think that people in Kansas should get to vote because I don't want to deal with whatever they choose as a president. I'm like, the fuck do you think the entire world wraps around you, you fucking asshole?
Yeah,
This is the reason why you shouldn't get to vote. Because you think you're the only one whose opinion matters.
right.
The problem is that we have two countries, right?
Sure.
In one country. We should have two presidents.
I don't know if we could deal with that.
We should have two separate countries.
Where are we going to draw the line? Right down the 50-yard line?
Well, there's two lines.
Okay.
There's got to be one on the West Coast and one on the East Coast, and the middle is a separate country.
Oh, so you're saying, well, that wouldn't bode well
Bookends.
if the bookends wanted to invade, they have the advantage. Because we're surrounded already.
I want to say the bookends are the pussies of the country. That's That's what I'm gonna say.
You know,
I'm gonna say if you're gonna mess with a bunch of fucking Iowa farmers who grew up just shooting shit all the time,
true,
they're probably gonna fuck your day up.
right? And
I don't care how fucking
well.
gangland you think you are. You're just spraying bullets everywhere. You don't know how to shoot. Those guys are gonna fucking pick you off. Those are the snipers of the world that go into
I
their
think,
army rangers and shit.
I was gonna say because you don't have a choice, right? Probably some of them poor towns, you either go to the army or you go farm. So why not get a skill out of it?
That's it. That's it.
But I mean, yeah, that's the stupidity. Yeah, the outsiders of the country, these metropolitan areas should just make the decisions. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a real asshole way to approach things.
I mean, I don't know if it's a great system, the electoral college.
There's
versus
no
whatever.
perfect system.
No.
Nobody has it.
I don't know.
Otherwise, we would all adopt it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why we don't have one vote, one person.
The only perfect system it works out for the people in charge is communism, right?
Mm-hmm. Now,
but it only works out for those people on the top.
Does any other country have an electoral college like we have?
I don't
think so, right? I think it's one vote, one person.
That's what I think.
But I don't understand the benefit of that college thing.
I don't know the history of it.
Me
I'm
either.
sure there was something intelligent behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's lost its relevance.
Like daylight savings?
Over 200 years.
Like daylight savings.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not farmers. We're not agrarian anymore. So
wow.
I pulled that one out. Right?
Deep.
Not bad for a tequila-soaked brain.
Tequila-driven.
I've been up for an hour, and I've already had a shot of a shot of vodka with fucking sauerkraut juice and a margarita.
Welcome to Tim's bar time. Now, did you...
I have the healthiest bad liver.
Now, my question is did you pour the shot and go, let's make this a mixed drink, and I'm going to pour the cabbage juice, or did you have a chaser of cabbage juice?
No, it's kind of like...
cabbage Manhattan? Cabbage martini?
It was like what do you call those little like a baby Guinness shot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The alcohol, and you top it off with the Baileys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
It was like that. It was like a shot, and I threw the sauerkraut juice on it.
Those picklebacks or those stupid drinks?
Yeah, pretty much, I guess. But healthier.
I mean, face value, right?
No sugar in it. I mean, besides the alcohol.
Right. Face value, it's the same as a dirty martini, right? Instead of olives?
It's just smaller. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to be adopted. Trust me. It's yours.
I don't care. It's gross.
Yeah.
It was fucking disgusting.
You see some guy
It wasn't.
draining out his hot dog into
Like
a
me.
shot glass.
Whoa.
Well,
We're back to sperm whales.
yeah, that didn't come out right.
I like the motion you did, too. You were fucking crushing that
Well,
thing.
you know how hard it is to get juice out of a hot dog? Some people.
Don't usually do it that way.
But, I mean,
it's
if you're
not that hard.
If you're blessed, you do.
It only takes about 15 seconds if you do it right.
But if you're blessed, you're going to need two hands. I mean,
I got a hot oil massage once in Manhattan.
oh,
It literally took like 15 seconds. Like she touched my cock and I shot all over the place.
I guess we're going to have to bleep cock, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still worth it.
Maybe there was like a bit of chili in it. I don't know.
Ew.
Chili oil in that thing.
Thai chili. Thai
I
chili
used
rub
to do
down.
that. I used to do that on my lunchtime all the time.
Then go back to work and fall asleep.
I would just be very calm. Everybody would be like, "You're so calm." I'm like, yeah, just fucking.
Yeah, you're no different than the people who had three or four cocktails
just
at lunch.
Whitewash some Chinese lady.
It wasn't against her will, though.
Right.
She wanted it.
She was there.
Yeah.
She had a smile on her face.
She facilitated. You accepted.
Maybe it's all marketing, but whatever.
Yeah, right. They don't even really have to market.
No.
Talk about your core audience. They know their audience.
Advertise.
Yeah. I mean, there's no, here's our building. You know what to do.
Just knock. Knock and show ID.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just don't listen to the walls of the people living in them or whatever. They show those on, I forget what we were watching. It's like those Vietnamese ones in San Francisco where there's like a fake wall. And all of a sudden there's like 15, 20 beds back there with people living on top of each other. That slight human trafficking idea.
I saw it in Atlantic City too.
Which is weird. Did you see that? You know, they got this new movie, this freedom movie, Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
People are way in an uproar for some unknown reason. Is it because Republicans like it more than Democrats? I don't get it. Because they're like giving this thing like, oh my God, it's so fake. It's
fake?
That's what they say.
Who's saying that? People who don't want it to be
real? The people
who
write these articles, who think like, well, they're really I mean, it's Hollywood. Everything is not centralized. It's children's
right.
Over sensationalized, and it's over the top. It makes you watch the movie because the stories are boring. For the most part, a story.
Right.
I mean, the movie about the atomic bomb, the story's boring. They have to make it, But these people are just bagging on it and bagging on it and bagging on it. Like, it's like, even if
they're mad that it's making money and it's not typical Hollywood shit.
Right. It wasn't
That's all it is. It's always about money.
Sure.
It's always about money.
It wasn't a big Hollywood studio that made it, and it's making more money than like Tom Cruise or whatever. Yeah. But all these articles, like these magazines, like, don't think too much of it. It's like even if like 10% of it's true.
How about you do this? Don't fucking tell me what to think.
Right. Exactly.
Just that. Go fuck yourself.
Even if 10-20% of it's true.
Who's the first asshole to listen to critics? Because that motherfucker needs to be slapped, right? Because since then, you got a bunch of assholes that can't do shit, but they'll tell you what's good and what's bad. Who the fuck are you?
Right.
You don't do anything. You don't create shit.
No, you just talk about it.
Yeah, you're a shit talker.
Same with food, right? Everybody.
Yeah.
Any critic getting paid for your opinion. Why does your opinion matter?
Not to me.
I mean,
you ever watch movie reviews before you go see a movie?
No.
You see the trailer, you're like, well, I could do that.
Right.
And then, that's it.
You look at some and go, wow, this trailer probably is the whole movie. And there's some that you're like surprised. You're like, oh, I thought this was going to be that was the whole, and it took a turn. Or whatever.
Right.
I mean, there's some premises you ignore. I mean, I'm not going to see a Barbie movie.
Why not?
It's not my vibe.
I thought pink was your thing.
Have you seen me? Every day on this camera is in black.
Dude, I could.
I got no pink.
You'd be good in plenty.
If I knew karate, then I'd wear pink.
I think if you wore pink, nobody would say shit to you anyway.
Probably not, but
there's this big pink mo coming my way.
It's a big bottle of Pepto-Bismol coming at me.
If I say the wrong thing, he's probably going to ass rape me in the parking lot.
I think I'd have to go full pimp, though. Pink hat, pink shoes.
Dude.
You'd have to go full.
Could you please?
No.
Please.
It'll cost me a fortune for them leather shoes.
I'll fucking buy you the goddamn
the
shoes. I'm not looking at your shoes.
I'm going full. The hat.
Zoot suit.
Pink zoot suit?
Hot pink zoot
with
suit.
The white stripes? The pinstripes?
You don't need... No.
The
Just
big pointy shoulders?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
And the hat. You got to have that.
So like a $1,200 suit.
It'll be worth it. It would... Because I'll come back to it year after year to look at that. Feel like that was a fantastic idea.
Come strolling down like a Pepto-Bismol pimp. Cane.
I'll fix what ails you.
The cane and everything. I'll give you that diarrhea. I'll fix it. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing.
I'll stimulate your prostate.
Oh, God. This is a horrible premise. But I don't know why they're afraid of it. Just let it be. Just let it be. Let the story be and see where it goes.
Dude, you are speaking words of wisdom. Let it be.
Let it be. That's right. Me, John Lennon. He just got there a little before me.
I think he stole it.
If I had a time machine
like that fucking piano act.
I can't believe that full clone job.
Oh my God, dude.
Maybe he thought if I learn this and then move to Iowa, no one will even know I stole this entire bit.
News.
But he openly admitted it.
So,
which is frightening.
We got whales,
right? And the whaling community, that there used to be a ton of whales off this coast. We used to hunt them.
Well, they're saying we overfished or
overwhelmed,
or is it the
we overhunted, right? Because they're mammals, we didn't fish them.
the quality of the water is declining, so it's killing animals. Are they also saying that?
They're saying everything. They're saying that the warm. They don't want to admit that, especially our coast, as all these dolphins and whales are dying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people say it's because it's too warm. Some other people are saying that they're doing sonar testing to put wind farms out, how many miles out to sea, that the sonar testing is messing with the hearing of those animals, and now they're wandering into shipping lanes and stuff and beaching them because they have no sense of direction anymore. Guess I don't got good eyesight.
Right.
Which,
it's the ocean, dude. There's no map.
Right, but you would think there's a lot of space to not crash into something. I mean,
I guess, but if you're swimming along.
Right. And you're a whale, you probably don't want to swim too far.
I mean, I don't really know how sonar works in your head. You know what I mean?
How do bats do? They hit an object and they come back to them. Right? It comes back, right? It hits.
Okay, so
hits the object and comes back. So
they think that something's in the way
because they're doing testing. They're doing testing to see how far down they have to go, I guess, and they're checking because they want
to anchor the wind farm.
Right, they want to put the concrete in there.
Yeah.
So they're doing sonar testing, and they think that those sonar waves are messing with the fragile brains of these animals.
Do they really need to test, or can't they just fucking dig and get it done?
I have no idea. I don't think it... I mean, I don't know how deep the water is, right?
It varies.
Right. But let's say...
Because we touched on this way long ago.
Right. But let's say 10 miles
I thought that it was like 600, 800 feet.
Right.
No, sometimes it goes down to like 4 miles.
Even just 100, even just like 10 miles off the shore?
Now you're getting into a gray area of my knowledge base.
I thought so, but I'm just saying. So if they're trying to set a line...
You've exposed me for the moron that I am.
It's okay. There's certain things...
Pseudo-intellectual.
We're going to put a pause on this and we'll get back to this because there's certain things where you just give people enough credit for what they do know and what they don't know. We touched on so many things.
Round two.
Let's start with the easiest one first.
We came in hot.
Yeah. Well, let's start with the easiest one first. With the ineptitude of oceanography. I always looked at it this way, especially when I had with my kid, right? There's certain things that you excuse and you don't excuse.
Right.
Like, I know you're not an oceanographer, so your knowledge isn't going to be there. I'm going to be mad for it.
Yeah.
If I asked you something that you have carnal knowledge and you didn't know, but what the fuck's wrong with you? It's your job or whatever. I always did that with my kid, like, hey, kid, put your clothes away. And she didn't put her clothes away or whatever, clean your room. Just get a little bit more of a stern talking to. Why are you picking on me? Because you know this.
Right.
If I said to you, defuse a bomb and it didn't work, all right, you gave it a shot.
But I know you don't have any knowledge of how a bomb works.
Right.
Yeah.
So I give you...
I'm not going to tell you to, change the headers on my car.
Right. Or if I did
put
tell
a new
you...
electrical panel in or something like that.
But if I said, go ahead, change the oil in the truck, and she didn't do it right, I'm not going to be mad at her. Hey.
Right.
I'm the one.
Yeah. But you should have gave her some pointers.
But if you have your carnal knowledge, and I tell you to clean your room, and you don't clean your room, you get a little more yelled at.
Right.
So I'm not really dismissive of the fact that you're not a oceanographer or whatever.
Cartographer.
Ocean cartography or whatever it is. Depth man.
Ocean mapper.
But even still, now we have this little thing up and I'm sure we're going to post it. 700 feet. That's like a lot of concrete or whatever. I don't know what they make the base out of a wind. It's got to be pretty heavy down there, right?
Well, I believe what they do is they dig into the bedrock.
To just drive straight down?
Kind of like you'd anchor something in your basement floor.
Right.
You dig a hole, you put the like a collar and then a pin in it, and then you concrete that bitch over. Yeah, so it's locked in there.
Maybe. You gotta remember how much force is up. How high are they? A couple hundred feet, right?
Yeah, but the same thing. I would think it's the same technology as building a skyscraper, right? They kind of build it, but they build it like on a ball and socket so that it has some sway.
Maybe.
That's my guess. I don't know.
I mean, you figure it's very inhospitable. 500 feet, 1,000 feet underwater.
That's something to say after you've had a few drinks.
Inhospitable. Inhospitable.
hospitable.
So, I mean, that just seems like a crazy thing that we're going to do this. And all the people that live down that area, because they have these $2, $3, $4, $5 million homes, are up in arms. They're like, move it 35 miles offshore so we can't see them. Dude, 35 miles offshore, they're going to put these, they want them to put these things. That's what they're fighting for. Now, they want to go
So,
a mile
unfortunately,
out.
that map did not show how far that was out.
Right.
But what we looked at, I know when they call it on land, it's topographic. I don't know if the sea thing is the same thing. But it was like a piece off the shore.
Who knows how far out, right?
Went 600 feet, like
Right.
a little shelf,
Mhm.
right? And then it dropped down to 9,000 feet, which is just short of 2 miles.
It's 15 times deeper.
Right. In a similar distance. So it was like, let's say it was like a mile out, and then it dropped
Right, we don't know.
15 times as much. And then a mile past that, it dropped down to 20,000 feet.
Right,
Or something like that. So it's like making huge jumps. So 35 miles out,
right.
you got to go down like 5-6 miles to hit.
They're never going to do that.
No, it's too expensive.
So, I mean, but maybe that's just a skewed map. Maybe it actually is 20 miles out, then 40 miles out. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's all because they don't want their view ruined. Now, you
There's
really
a lot
think...
of pretentious cunts in the world.
Yeah. And especially money, that cunt gets real sour.
Well, that's what I
real
meant.
sour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there can be pretentious cunts for other reasons, but for money, those people with the money. I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't even think they're really ruining their view 2 miles out. You can't see 2 miles out. Maybe on a super, super clear day.
What's the farthest that I could see? Like, I think it's 20.
20 miles?
I think so.
Got to be super clear. Conditions have to be absolutely perfect.
Conditions.
Now,
yeah.
the coast isn't perfect. You got fog and you got, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm sure there's a shipping lane out there 2 miles out that you could still see those boats wander by.
Yeah, so what are you going to say? The ships can't come in?
Right. It's all stupid.
Shut up.
It's all politics.
You ever see them replenish the beach?
Mm-hmm.
So they have it like a...
To shoot the sand back up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They basically have a... kind of looks like a barge out there.
Mm-hmm. It's a vacuum.
And it has a huge vacuum with a pipe that goes underwater to the beach, and they just spit sand onto the beach.
Right.
You could be at the 20 feet away, as long as you're not in the blast zone.
Yeah.
And they're just filling it up with dirty, shitty sand from the bottom of the ocean.
Now the drop off gets more and more.
Hey, look.
What are they banking on? You like that no one's going to go out wherever the barge is?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter at that point, right?
Right. But there's places like, I mean, islands and stuff where you can go out pretty far and still just be up to your knees, you know.
That's
and
where
water.
you get those awesome looking... the water looks great.
Right.
So it's super clean. You can see the bottom through it. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden...
And that's when it gets that dark green or dark blue.
Like that new movie's coming out. The Meg 2. You ever see The Meg?
Yeah, it's Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Is he fighting the Meg?
Yeah, well, who else is he going to fight at this point?
Dude, when you can kick that much ass, you
That's
need
what I mean.
to take on a dinosaur.
Yeah, we can do Fight the Rocket. Come on. Garbage. Give me something I can handle. But there's a number 2. It's called The Meg 2, obviously.
Right.
I think it's called The Trench.
Meg 2, The Duty.
I think it's called Meg 2, The Trench or something, because it's
Yeah.
coming up from the Mariana Trench. Marianas Trench or whatever.
Sure.
Like, I don't know. Who cares? It's the ocean. Who really
And
gives a
we've
shit?
said enough about that.
Yeah, who cares?
Piece of shit.
Nobody gives a shit.
It's gonna be a piece of shit.
But it does tie into something I did look up. Could you survive?
Good for him for getting a paycheck for that bullshit, though.
You make your money where you can. People
Dude,
have
if
made
somebody
more for
offered
worse.
me a fucking shitty ass Meg movie, and I got his paycheck,
Sure. Half.
I'd be like, sign me up for 4 of those.
Half.
Let's make a real series out of
A
that.
quarter. Pay my house.
How much do you think he makes?
I'll fight a mechanical shark or whatever. I'll go like this, and then they'll put it in post, whatever.
What do you think he makes for those movies?
Millions.
Like
5
give me a
million?
range.
3
You think
million?
5 million?
5 million. And I mean, you're kicking the air because there's no
Right. There's no Meg.
no.
Right.
It's the green screen probably. But there was a dude.
Do you think for reality's sake, just so that the kick feels real, that they hire some chick named Meg and he just kicks her in the fucking face?
Come here, Meg. Like the
Yeah.
Family Guy Meg?
Yeah. Just gives her a fucking front
Roundhouse.
kick, question mark kick to the jaw.
You ever see that movie he was in where his heart was like he had to keep getting adrenaline boosts?
Dude, he did a
Oofa.
movie that was could be the worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh boy.
I think it was something in that series of movies,
Oh no.
but it is. I think it's Transporter 3.
Oh boy. Yeah, those movies were bad.
No, but this one is super bad. This one is so. It's so bizarre, and so crazy. Like it feels like you're tripping.
Really? The whole time?
Yeah.
Why, they drug him up or something?
No, it's just everything that happens is. It's just so bad. It's so terrible. It's so implausible. It's complete nonsense. And I'm not saying like he could kick the shit out of 20 guys in a room. We all know that's bullshit, but we've seen it a million times before.
Right.
And if it's done correctly, it almost looks like he's doing it.
Right.
Right? I'm talking about this shit is over the top nonsense. This is a piece of shit that should never have seen the light of day.
Now I want to watch Transporter 3 and see what it's all about.
I think it's Transporter.
Yeah, look it. All about Meg 2 the Trench. There it is.
Ugh.
That looked really bad, that shark.
Look, nothing against Jason Statham for getting it. No, I'm sorry, it's Crank.
Crank, that's the
It's
one.
Crank 3. It might be Crank 3.
There was another Crank?
Let me see. Let me
remember.
make sure.
I remember Crank 1, I guess. Crank the original.
Yeah, I don't think it was Transport. I think it was Crank.
Crank was
Something.
silly.
Maybe it was Crank.
I think what's his name was in it, which probably made the movie. I think Dwight Yoakam was in it. I think he was his doctor.
Maybe it was this one, Crank High Voltage.
Maybe.
I don't know, but there's some garbage.
Which is was it the one? Is he in every one of them? Dwight Yoakam.
I don't know.
Fantastic. I love him in Sling Blade. He's great.
Oh,
It's a perfect bit character. They're gonna need us eventually. I mean, we start scabbing, crossing those picket lines.
if you're not gonna do the zoot suit, can you cut your hair like Sling Blade? If I could grow hair, I would.
Just walk around my eyes in the back of my head. No gas. You all right?
No, I'm just thinking about whether or not I should do it.
Oh boy. You got to wear the shirt. That really makes it.
Did he
the
button
blue
it
shirt all the way up
like
to
way
the
too
top?
far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too uncomfortable.
Everything about
But
that guy was uncomfortable.
But there's going to be there should be some openings. I mean, if they're going to keep the strike going, maybe some picket lines across.
To break into the biz,
Yeah, why not?
I'll do it.
You think they ever think about that? Like just doing non-union
Look, if
actors?
not, if they're gonna try to pull some shit and give me a bullshit paycheck,
Right.
I wouldn't do. But if you give me a real paycheck, I'll star in your movie. Of
I
course.
mean,
I'll kill it.
let's say they're not going to give you $1 million, right? Or let's say they give you $1 million, right?
Okay.
And that's a tenth of what they would pay a real actor to do the role.
Right.
Still worth it.
For me and
Right.
for them.
I mean, look,
Yeah, of course.
how much did the Scabs get paid to cross the picket line for the NFL?
And let's be honest. What actor's gonna kick your ass?
Jason Statham.
No. Sorry.
I think he might. I think he was a bruiser before he got into acting.
No, he definitely has actual martial arts
Right.
training.
Is Seth Rogen going to kick your ass? No.
No, that motherfucker's getting winded. He's
Yeah.
gonna cough up a sausage before he gets to me.
Bump sausage. Oh. That was the problem this whole time.
Yeah.
And-
Who knew? I
Now-
got a pain in my chest.
shoot out a sausage.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think, like, I don't even know if this is anything factual. Like, when the NFL went on strike, remember? We were kids, I guess.
Now, that's a union line I wouldn't cross.
No, those guys.
Right, because they're all roided up felons.
Right. But let's say like that. But
Sorry, roided up ghetto felons.
Thanks for clarifying.
Well, because it adds the element of they're used to carrying guns and shit like that. Yes, so.
Which even happens to this
and they
today.
have a street rep to protect. It's a different.
Yeah, which even.
It's a different zone. If you want to step into that zone,
right,
you got to be ready to take on what it
everything.
is. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Like if you decide you're gonna make a concrete business.
No.
Enough said.
Yeah.
You're not
gonna get your first pour in.
Look, let's just leave it at that. We know what we're saying.
But let's figure it out though. Like as a business owner though, it might be smart. You find some schmoes that would be willing to cross a concrete picket line. They pour the concrete and then they go missing. You got your concrete for free probably. For now, and then once the strike's over, of course, you're going to pay double. But
so I talked to a guy about this. His name ends in a vowel, but I don't think he's in that zone.
Okay.
And he was telling me how you're not even going to get paid because they're not going to talk to you. They're going to talk to the person who hired you and be like, don't cut a check.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So you get your free concrete.
So you are not getting free work out of your guys. You're not getting paid at all. You will pour concrete, but that guy is getting free concrete.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So he's getting, and then that guy ends up missing.
Well, that guy won't even get free concrete because then they'll force him to hire them, and they'll break it up and then redo it.
It'll be a whole thing. It's amazing how things drop in certain zones. Right, like
the niche.
Yeah, like why did that become almost stereotypical?
Stonework.
Yeah, all right.
If you look at cathedrals and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, weren't they Romans first? Before they were.
Aren't they this?
I don't know. I don't know the genealogy.
You know, remember that Sopranos episode where like they're beating on the hayseed?
I don't remember that.
Hasidic guy. And,
Hasidic?
The Hasidic guy.
Right.
And he was like, they were saying some shit, and he was like, "Oh, you're the Roman," or he said something about the Romans. Where are they now? And they were like, "We're standing right in front of you," and then they start beating him.
I have to find that episode.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
Something about a hotel he wouldn't sell them some shit. I forget.
But one of them Fleabag motels.
Something. Yeah, something like that.
But be that as it may, but I'm saying those scabs crossed that picket line, and they played football for a couple games. I forget how many games it was. Okay. I don't think they played a whole season, did they?
I don't even remember it. To be honest, no.
I think we were kids, but it did happen, right? And did anybody get retained? Like the whole thing happened. They finally solved the labor agreement. Now, did any of the scabs get hired in the NFL?
Let's find out. Let's go to the videotape.
To the Google. To the Firefox. To the DuckDuckGo. I don't know. Whichever one we're using.
All of the above. Did any
football
NFL
scabs
get hired? Scab story, 1987. The year I graduated high school.
So we weren't that young. We were just probably not paying attention. But I remember from Monday Night Football. That's the only reason.
Yeah, when I was 17, I was not watching football. I was watching TNA.
Of course. But that was after dark.
And Slayer shows.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did the replacement teams have punny nicknames?
Oh, that's all stupid
Don't
stuff.
be gay. And go on to better things. Suge Knight.
There you go.
Whoa, Suge Knight played it as a scab.
Yeah.
Sean Payton.
Okay. So, the
not many. Let's just say not many.
All right, let's say so. There was I don't know. For argument's sake, there was 3, 4. I don't know. Now think about that. Like if people start crossing, actors start crossing picket lines or whatever, people,
Yeah.
and they keep. You never know. You might win the lottery and keep 3 or 4. It depends on how far the strike goes, right? How deep it goes. They might find writers that aren't,
Let's be honest.
and then they're going to be forced to join the union.
Let's be honest. Acting is fucking cake. Anybody could act.
Well, you're a vessel.
You're a liar.
Yeah, but you're an empty
Right.
vessel, and they just fill you up with whatever you're supposed
Here's
to do.
the thing. The only reason that you are a money-making actor is that you're marketable. That's it.
Sure, you're a commodity.
So you're not really talented. You're just marketable, right? And I don't mean to say that famous actors are not also talented, right?
Right.
There's shit that Tom Cruise does that people are not going to do, especially at his age, doing all those fucking stunts.
Sure.
People are not going to do that, right? Johnny Depp, he plays the weird guy. He could totally play Richard Gere leading roles, but he chooses the weird guy roles instead. All those people could be replaced, but will they sell the tickets in the same way, right? Like you could find another good-looking guy, but they also have to have talent. I lost my train of thought. I'm going
Sure.
to have another drink. Thank you.
You'll get that back. If you'll find that
No,
train.
it's gone. It's
But
gone. Forget it.
I don't know. Well, maybe not from the acting side, but from the writing side. I bet you if they get scab writers, they'll keep some eventually, and then they'll force them to join the writers' union, and they'll become part of the fabric, even though they might be looked down upon. But they'll
Right.
still work.
Oh, so my point was basically anybody, they can all be replaced,
Sure.
but they
Everybody.
won't make as much money unless they're marketable. That's all I'm saying. Talent-wise, you could be replaced instantly. There's a million struggling actors in New York that I'm sure are awesome actors.
Right.
Nobody knows who they are, or they're fugly, or whatever the fuck. That's not getting them the big roles.
They don't have the X. They don't have the star power.
They don't have it, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Think they'll start looking at YouTube and stuff to see what's out there?
I mean, you could go that way, right? You could, because they have a fan base.
Yeah.
You can hire the Pauls to do something, right? I don't picture them being actors, but I don't know.
I mean, they what's her name? I forget the chick's name. She's a young girl. I don't know her name. I always see her online, but they gave her a movie. They probably bombed. It was a reverse of I'm trying to think of it.
Reverse
Well, I think the original movie
or
was
reboot.
a reboot. There you go. I think it was he's all that and she's all that, or vice versa. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
they're all that.
No,
to
no.
make it modern.
But I think the first one was she's all that, and then the new one's he's all that, and she was in it, something
Okay.
like that. So she was like an internet person. I mean, I don't know if they did well, but they probably said, okay, well, this broad's
She
got
attractive?
yeah.
Okay.
This
there you
girl's
go.
got
That's-
I
right.
guess you take a chance. This girl's got 250 million followers.
Plus, she looks good, so
Right.
yeah, she's
Even if we get-
screen worthy.
Do we get 2 million people to watch
Just have her
this?
stand in the background.
Right.
Right.
Even we get 2 million people to watch this
You
junk.
give her 3 lines, she could fucking say hi and say she did some acting.
I think she was the leading role.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
But I'm just saying.
Maybe she's multi-talented. You know, you find that that people who could do music can also act. They could also do art. They could also write. You know, there's certain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
when it's not usually that you can only play drums,
Right.
right? You could usually do that plus other shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all those people that say I can't draw a stick figure. Right? They have because you have zero creative bone. Usually when somebody has creative bone, you can navigate through different waters and assume different roles. You can learn different shit because you already have that creative. I think it's a mindset that then fuels your talent.
I'd find the other mindset fascinating where people can't draw from memory.
I can't draw from memory.
Well, if somebody says draw a door, you can draw a door,
Well, it's a rectangle.
but you can draw it. If I said to
Okay.
you, draw me a door with some detail, you could draw it.
Okay.
There's people who can't connect that to paper, even though they've seen 1,000 doors.
There's speds.
Is that what it's called?
No, I don't know.
Sounds interesting word.
It's
Is that made up?
special education.
Oh. All right, now it makes a little more sense.
They're short bus folks.
That's to make you a bad person. Just made you rode a little bus.
It makes you special.
Right, and we need special people.
We do. The second half is really going bad.
Wow. Well, I mean, I was trying.
Maybe I should have laid off the margaritas for the second round.
Maybe.
Maybe by the third round they'll really kick in and it'll bring it back up.
Maybe the last one we ever have. Once the racial epithets start flying and he starts blaming people.
Dinner's gonna be great.
It's gonna be the best dinner ever, or the worst.
Woo. What else you got for me? What did we start that we didn't finish and whatever?
Well, we were going through all that stuff. I was just looking at some things that I found along the way that because the internet's always listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how many of these people are actually out there, but we had talked about the Old West, remember serial killers?
Yeah.
I wonder how, and they just talked about that guy in Long Island. You saw that, right?
Yes.
Killed a bunch of hookers or whatever. And
yeah, the guy in Massapequa Park,
right.
which is where my ex-wife is from. And my kids live near.
That's near them?
It's in that. It's close.
It's an island. I mean,
15 minutes.
Yeah, close enough. But I wonder how many active serial killers.
Who is he killing? Hookers, right?
I think Craigslist hookers.
Why?
He was a weird dude, I guess.
Let's think about this for a second. Why do dudes kill hookers?
Because they think they're nameless. Like they don't have a family.
Is it that? Or are they angry at women and they can't get women, so they... But this guy was married, right? Like he had a whole life. So what is the... Is it just that they'll show up because...
Sure.
Because of their job, they have to, right?
Yeah.
Well, what are you looking at?
No, I just saw some stuff flashing, but I think we're okay. Yeah.
All right.
Acting.
There you go. That was my reel.
There you go.
Sign me up.
Yeah. But I think it's because they think they're...
What's that? Cigarette company that has an agency? Philip Morris?
Philip Morris.
Yeah, there you go. Sign me up.
I think because...
I'm a scab, bitch.
Because, there you go. I'll fight.
I'll fight anybody.
I'll fight people on that line.
I'll fight any actor. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Knock over some Rob Reiners or whatever.
That's not hard. Well, he's more like a weeble.
Just get him on.
I don't think he's going down.
Why don't you get him on his back? Turtle him. But I think he thinks or thought that they're
Who's he?
the serial killer dude.
Okay.
Is that they're just nameless, nothing people. That they don't have a family.
They're useless.
Right. They're just there.
They're
alone.
to serve.
Well, no, they're alone. Like, why would you be a sex worker? Because you don't have a family. Like, there's probably a ton of assumptions in there. No one's going to look for you when you're not around because you have nobody. Or else, why else would you be doing this?
I don't think so. I think he looks at them as they're there to serve.
Like objects?
100%.
Yeah,
right?
You don't kill your toaster after you use it.
But his thing is to kill people, right? He doesn't give a shit about making toast.
Well,
or deep dicking. He wants to. He just wants to murder somebody.
You think he didn't get off before he offed them? Don't think they did the part that you paid for to begin with before he
I don't know.
Killed them?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Well, I would think maybe if he did, they would have found out quicker. They'd probably do DNA.
If I was to kill a hooker, right?
Maybe.
I never have and never will. But
okay.
I'm thinking, but see, I'm a whore, right? Like I'm thinking about draining my nuts all the time, around the clock.
Where are we going with this, counselor?
I'm just saying that I would definitely jizz first.
Then it'd catch you a lot quicker.
Right. But then I would want to lay down on the couch afterwards so I wouldn't have the energy to kill somebody.
Right. You'd be tired. You'd be like,
right.
whatever.
I'm like, I was thinking about chopping your head off. But I really don't want to do all these rows right now.
Right?
Just
You think she'd be thankful? Well, thanks.
on some level, you got to be, right?
Right.
Even if you think it's crazy,
Right.
right?
This guy was spouting off some weird shit after we were done.
Yeah, but he admitted that you might not be going home that night, but he got tired.
Right.
So you just don't go back. You're like, well, thanks
Yeah.
for getting tired.
Job well
know.
done, kid.
Yeah. I'll either rethink my career path or I'll make sure everybody's tired from here on in, one or the other.
That's right.
Yeah, it's definitely beneficial for her
Sure.
if you let her know.
Hey, listen, there's a good chance I
This
might
could have
cut
been
your head
it,
off.
dude. This could have been it.
I don't think he had that in his mind. I think he was killing nameless, faceless things. He didn't know. It wasn't personal because he didn't know their names. You know, he knew the name they told him.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it can be. I mean, I don't have their mindset because I don't kill people.
Right. We never kill people.
Oh shit.
So,
Chair sounds like a camel trying to mate. Doesn't have a scratch pad. There you go. It's much better.
is that the sound camels make when they mate?
Yeah, they do some kind of thing.
I never got that close to camels.
Dude, you should.
No.
If you get the chance.
I think you just
Really?
took care of it for me.
Get in there.
But now the thing that I was saying was that aside from that guy, because now that case is wrapped up, how many more active serial killers are out there in this country? That either unsolved or still happening.
So many.
We have so many people here.
Right. We have 330 million people,
Mhm.
right? So if you say 0.1%, right? That would be. Excuse me.
3.3.
33,000.
Something like that. 3,000 or 33,000. 33,000. 3,300. 33,000.
33,330,000, 3 million, 33 million. Yeah, 33,000 people.
Killers.
No, I'm sorry.
3,300.
3,300.
Killers.
3,300 serial killers.
Gotta be. Easy.
Right? So, like, 60 a state.
Mhm.
Per state.
Mhm.
60 per state. Just whacking people.
Right. Or if not 60, the law of averages, maybe there's 120 in Texas,
Right. I mean,
5 in Rhode Island.
right. Right.
Right.
Would you think there's more where the population is dense or more where it's rural and you think you could get away with it?
I think when there's more space. Like that other guy who killed.
Because nobody knows.
Right. Or
Right? It's still like the Wild West.
but technology's catching up to him with all the tracking and the pinging and the.
Sure.
Like the cat that killed the people in Idaho, right?
There was a cat that killed people.
The
in
dude.
Oh.
Whatever. I'm using my.
Sorry.
I'm using jazz lingo.
I'm looking at fucking
We got cocktails, so I'm using that jazz lingo.
killer cats.
Yeah, they were from the. They came right from the play, because they're human cats.
Oh, that
Yes.
was
And you fucking kill
such an interesting career choice.
to be a cat.
All right,
Broadway?
you spend your entire life
As a thespian, Juilliard trained.
I was a Juilliard trained thespian,
Robin
and
Williams.
now
was
I have to
Juilliard.
wear a fuzzy hat and a tail.
You did that at Disney for a lot less. Well, you probably would have health benefits at least.
You could do anything. How demeaning is it to play a fucking cat in a stupid cat suit?
How demeaning is it to sing your lines to anything? I find plays,
Musicals, you mean?
Yeah.
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 Plays okay. Musicals, garbage.
I was hear some guy singing about crossing the road. Who gives a fuck?
I got in trouble in New Orleans once over musicals.
You were at a musical in New Orleans?
Yeah, we might have to bleep this,
Okay.
but I'm going to tell you a story anyway.
All right.
So I'm in New Orleans and I'm at a bar
Okay.
talking to some broad, and she's like, "Oh, you live in New York?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." She's like, "Do you ever go to Broadway?" I said, "No, too gay for me." And she got so bent out of shape. So bent out of shape. She was like, "My brother is a Broadway actor." I was like, "Is he gay?"
What did she say?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
was like,
nail
"Why are you getting mad at me?"
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I get it. It's profiling, but it's kind of on point. Just saying.
But it was always that way.
Yeah, whatever. You know, if you were a straight classical dancer,
Right.
you would be in the severe minority.
I was going to say
right?
you'd be an anomaly.
You'd be uncomfortable before the show because you'd be in a dressing room full of swinging dicks that are looking to swing dicks towards the other swinging dick.
Right. Or,
right?
I mean, like...
you would totally rack up the booty, the
Sure.
female booty, because
Right.
you'd be the only straight guy in that whole scene.
Right.
But you would have to suffer through the...
the gauntlet of,
Yeah.
of ball bags. And
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
my question is, if you were the straight dancer, would you say you were gay to, fit in?
It seems like a smart move.
Now, the opposite of that happened where when I had my pizza place, the guy who was like my salesman for produce and things like that was a kid. He was 20s. He was
Okay.
great dude. When he was in college in New York, a friend of his was like, come on, man, we're going to go work fashion shows. I got an in for us to work Fashion Week in New York and stuff.
Right.
What are we doing? We're dressing models. He's like, okay. So he gets the gig, and he's dressing these models, and all the models were fine with it because they believed they were gay, even though they never said they were gay.
Okay.
They never said anything. They didn't write it on the application or whatever. The kid had a friend. He's like, yeah, come on, guys. You guys can do this. And it was never a question like, you're not
I
gay.
thought you were going to tell me they were male models.
No, they weren't. No, far from it.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, but it was just hilarious.
Because when I was living in L.A. and I was working on a movie with this the woman, and her boyfriend was a director of photography who was about to get hired by Playboy.
Okay.
And then they found out he was straight, and they ixnayed that because they only hire gay photographers.
Sure, they went impartial.
Because they don't want nonsense happening on their photo shoots. Their business. I get that 100%. So it's weird that they didn't vet them like that.
No.
Oh, good for him.
So the ladies just assumed they were gay, which is funny because stereotype, right?
Yeah.
Everybody who's in this industry is female or gay or whatever.
Right.
They were skinny. I guess they fit the profile.
Right. The flimsy gentleman.
Yeah.
Do you think what did they hook up?
I don't know, but he said it was the time of his life.
Then I'm gonna say yes.
It could have been that or the cocaine or whatever.
That's kind of.
What's that one thing that Mark Norman and Theo podcast? What did he say? What did Theo say? Something about the bottom of the cocaine bag is itchy or something. He's like,
right.
Whatever he said, it was a great line. It was a great just throwaway.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the line.
Yeah.
But yeah. There was a bunch of good things on that podcast. But if you were the guy, right, and you're dressing models and there's a bunch of blow around and stuff like that, that's all well and good. But the payoff is nailing the model.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the goal. So if that doesn't happen, then it's not the time of your life. It's just a time.
Time, right. I'm just thinking of that scene.
Because you could do coke and not get laid.
Mm-hmm. Chances
That's almost
are,
an oxymoron.
Yeah,
by
right.
the way.
If you have the coke, you better be getting laid.
That's almost yeah. Let's backtrack that.
Depends on who owns the coke first.
Yeah, if you are not getting laid and you're just doing coke by yourself, you got a fucking problem.
Yeah, you got issues.
Right. You should definitely be sprinkling on your penis and having somebody sniff it off.
When I think of those two with the girls, all of a sudden, like a History of the World, Feta pops up. He's not a eunuch.
Oh yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
I was thinking, hanging
He is a unit.
hanging clothes off his cock while she's getting dressed.
He's sweating. He's sweating.
That's all I picture.
Caledonia. Let's make their big head so hard.
What a movie.
Fantastic.
But yeah, like I don't know what. How do we got there from dressing like a cat? Well, I mean, hey.
How do we get anywhere?
I don't know. But I mean, that's your role. I mean, I guess you're hoping that you're not going to be a cat in Cats Forever. Right? You're hoping to get the springboard. Or are you typecast? Well,
All right, so
it's a good
I'm
cat.
trying to put it in musicians' terms.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, what would be the parallel between dressing as cats for an acting job as a musician? Would you like dress as a Teletubby and play your bass?
Maybe that's something like or not.
I got the douche chills. Oh my god, it fucking got me.
It's like a horror movie.
Fuck.
It's got to be something like that. Doing kids' music dressed up like Tommy the Pickle or whatever they dress up as. I don't know what kids dress. I don't know what those people do, but I'm just saying, it's got to be some of that equivalent somewhere in there, where you're just dressed up and you're just like regretting your choices or whatever. So,
Yeah.
But this is only till I get my other career start, which probably never happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you might get typecast. Well, that guy, he plays good in those children's bands. Let's just keep him in the children's
He's a great
bands.
pickle.
Right. A little odd.
That guy.
He's a frowny pickle.
Yeah.
Because he's really mad at
Knocks
his
it out of
choices.
the bark.
They're going to come into the stage and just see a pickle swinging from the rafters. He just gave up.
How would you hit the news around you? You slide out.
They'd show up and
You'd
it'd
have to hook one of your bumps.
they would show up and be stuck around your feet because just catch the end. You're just upside down.
Why do pickles get warty like that? Because when they start out cucumbers, they're smooth. Right?
Don't cucumbers have the
Do
prickly
they?
heat all over them? Don't they?
I thought they were kind of smooth, though. No,
Some, I think, right? Depends on the variety, maybe?
maybe that's it.
Farming
Can't
with
hang a
talking on
pickle.
toilets.
Can't hang a pickle.
Yeah. Hey, can you? Well, I guess, like you said.
Are you gonna be able to do a swinging pickle graphic?
Yeah, I'm gonna be finding pickles, trying to swing a pickle.
Swing pickles.
I mean, we won't put the noose on it because we don't want to be offensive. We don't want to trigger anybody about pickle suicide. But
So the next podcast,
what's
gonna
that?
be called the swinging pickles.
Talking about weird shit. We'd already do that,
Oh my lord!
dude.
How'd your drink going down?
It's going down just fine. I was like looking at my notes, going, "Wow," because then I saw that whole thing with Johnny Bench being an anti-Semite. You ever saw that?
No.
He said something like,
New?
"Yeah,
Okay.
pretty brand new." Something about another player was complaining about his contract back then, because they were when they were younger, and he had mentioned something. Well, that's 'cause
Hold on. A guy now is complaining about his contract back then.
No, the Johnny like
back at the
same,
time.
No, but it happened now. But they're older; they're not in the game anymore.
Right.
And I think Johnny Bench had mentioned something to Johnny Bench about getting paid like a low amount, and then Johnny Bench, well, that's because that guy's Jewish. Started.
Oh, the guy
an
who was
uprising.
paying him.
Yeah,
Right. I see what you're saying.
that started an uprising, right?
Right.
And then I started thinking about like Lenny Dykstra and how he was crazy, and Pete Rose and the whole '86 Mets, and they were all hopped up on drugs.
Sure.
And I started thinking of like newer guys, and it's like
And the
sports.
Jets weren't the Jets? No?
Oh, yeah.
The whole sack exchange, weren't they all?
Yeah, beating people up. Yeah. But now I'm thinking all modern players are like so vanilla.
It's different.
Your LeBron Jameses and all them, they're vanilla. They're not.
It's different for sure.
It's not as. Is it fun?
No, it's not the same way.
Is it fun as
It's
one?
definitely not the same way. Who was the pitcher that pitched the entire game on acid?
Oh, the Pirates dude or whatever his name is. That was a documentary.
Yeah, shit
A
used to be
Perfect
wild.
Game on Acid.
I watch it because my youngest is into baseball now.
Right.
So I find video shorts of Bo Jackson
Okay. Right. Oof.
or
Like good players back then.
right, but then when you start getting into baseball, your algorithm changes and starts showing you other shit. So
Right.
it'll be like baseball fights,
Okay.
like guys rushing the mound, or they pretend they're running to first base and then they dart to
yeah.
the mound, or they slam the catcher and then all bench is clear. So there's all kinds of crazy shit that I see. It's great.
Did you watch the one where I think the guy went charging after Nolan Ryan, and Nolan Ryan just whap.
The guy had like 9 feet arms.
Right. And I think somebody tried that with Randy Johnson. It was even worse. What are you doing?
Yeah. You gonna box that guy?
Yeah.
Big Bird?
Or you ever show
Guy's name is Big Bird.
show your kid the video when Randy Johnson goes into the windup and hits the bird in flight. across the plate.
No kidding.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Unbelievable.
That's funny.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more. Like, not for baseball, but for golf or something.
It's kind of low for a bird to be flying.
But I mean, but like golf, those guys
and
hit
close to humans. Weird.
Yeah, well, they don't care. Remember?
Yeah, they're savages.
Yeah, they walk around. All that stuff is fucking assholes.
Mini dinosaurs.
Fucking stupid.
Like,
waste of time.
I scooped up a dead bird this morning.
From where?
Right in front of my garage.
How did you get there?
In the front of my garage.
Was it a warning?
The Maloika.
He couldn't get in the house for the. Maybe that was that noise you heard. He couldn't get in the house with the horse head. He just left the bird up.
I hear shit slamming against my windows all the time.
You must have clean windows.
I hear little all day, and it's those big fat carpenter bees slamming against the window. But then I hear good bangs, and it's birds definitely slamming into my windows.
It's a testament to your cleaning. Nice clear window.
Non-cleaning.
Well, you think it's maybe?
I have the blinds are closed, so maybe they'd see it as a hole because it's dark. But
like Acme, like when the Roadrunner paints a tunnel.
I think you pick it up and put it in your.
Yeah,
I got a hole in me pocket.
When he he paints the tunnel and guy hits the tunnel.
Easy escape route. All you need is a pencil.
That's right. Just erase it on the way out. Would you get stuck?
Oh.
Well, if you drew the thing, you hopped in.
They must have drawn a brick wall too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
What didn't they do? What are you doing? What is that?
I'm scratching my beard. I got an itch.
Speaking of, so anyway, you found a dead bird.
I did.
What'd you do with it?
Threw it in the garbage. I thought, like, very briefly, like, let's say 4 seconds, about giving it a burial.
Aw.
I didn't do it.
It's too hot.
No. There was also some dead bees in my garage, so I got rid of those.
The harbinger
Remember,
of death.
there's the hole by the door in my garage, and there was a bunch of bees flying in and out. So I took a tinfoil ball and I slammed it in there to cut them off.
Right.
And then I read online that that's not a good thing to do because they'll just burrow through the wood and make a nest somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I go online and I see this thing about yellow jacket nests. And I saw a picture of a yellow jacket nest that filled an entire minivan.
Ooh.
And I will post it. It's crazy looking. Right?
You can imagine.
It's crazy. It's like you could see the steering wheels.
So it infiltrated the wall of the minivan and then just started setting up
shop? It got in
shop?
through whatever, the vents or whatever.
Right.
They started... So what they do is they chew up some kind of fibrous thing, trees or whatever, leaves, and then they kind of baby bird it into a thing, right? But it filled the entire minivan except the like dashboard and the steering wheel are sticking out of it, right? So I got this in my head, so I'm like,
yeah.
I close this off now. Where the only thing to go is up, right? So I go up and because my garage has a loft, so I go up there expecting to see some crazy
an entire
shit.
House full of bees.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to war. I got a sledgehammer. I'm gonna fuck shit up.
Bees are like, what are you gonna do with that? Let's go around it.
Smash their house, but they'll sting the shit out of me.
Yeah, they're gonna make you pay.
I'm not saying it was a great plan.
It was a plan,
but. You know, I went in thinking I was going to see the worst. I saw nothing up there.
Right.
So I closed it up. I'm driving out of my garage, and I see a bunch of dead bees on the ground. Like 8. So I'm like, okay, they went in there, and it was too hot in the garage, and they just cooked or whatever, or they couldn't get out to get food or whatever happened.
Right.
All good. Swept them out. Next day, 3. Swept them out. And then didn't see shit. Now here it is like a week later, and I see 3 more.
Uh-oh.
Plus the dead bird. And I'm like, oh no, what's going on now? Like, are they getting a resurgence? Like, what's happening here? But I saw the dead bird, and I immediately scooped him up, and it was like, it's weird because when you scoop up a dead bird, you would think, what? Like, it's like a bird on a popsicle stick,
usually it's pretty stiff.
Yeah.
It was flimsy,
No,
so it was fresh kill. So it was a fresh kill.
Had a little
sponge to him.
Yeah, like if you squeeze them, it would squeak. Like you might want to give it to somebody's dog.
Maybe you could have given CPR, brought him back to life.
That would be the easiest CPR I've ever given.
So he died recently. Maybe he was trying to find that same hole.
Well, he didn't tell me, but
Did he have any dying breath?
I'm guessing so. Yeah, there was nothing scratched into the concrete.
Maybe he was fighting the bees.
Yeah,
it was like 9,000 against one. He was take care of business the best he could.
If there was the dead bird on the ground and in the concrete, there was a little scratch that said "fucking bees" next to it.
That's right.
That would be fantastic.
Bees, just bees. Just the letter
with a Z at the end.
It would have taken you like 6 months to wonder why there was a bee. Just a letter scratched into your concrete from the bird fighting off bees.
Son of a bitch.
But now back to the guy with the minivan. It had to be an abandoned van, right, or something.
It had to be.
It was like a guy driving it every day.
Had to be. Yeah.
Didn't realize all of a sudden he's got bees.
Yeah, you couldn't build that overnight. That would have to be like a serious infestation to build a house like that overnight. I mean,
sure.
You would say tens of thousands of bees. There's no way you could build it because I've seen them outside my house. Mm-hmm. That wasp nest is like
the mud wasp. Yeah,
yeah, it's like a fucking softball.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot. That's still a lot of work,
and that's a lot of work, right? To fill up a minivan, it's got to be
just a project.
Gigantic amount of bees to get there.
This one day at my place, this dude was over, and we were like yapping out on the back deck,
mm-hmm.
and there was like a pole or something, stick or something, and I was just like goofing around, and I went like this into a flower bed, and all of a sudden, zzz, stung the guy 6 times, bang, 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 and I'm like, oh, and he looked at me like I planned it. I'm like, I didn't plan it, and he's like, I go, did you ever get stung by a bee? He's like, never. I'm like, you allergic? He's like, I don't know.
We'll find out.
As if we're gonna wait.
Yeah,
he didn't die. But
no, that's good.
I was like, but they didn't even touch me. I'm the one who did it.
It's always the way.
I stuck the stick in, and
it's always the way.
Went after that guy.
If you're a guy in a fight,
right,
you're fine. If you're the guy breaking up the fight, oh my God, you're lumped up. That guy always gets fucked up. I remember I got in a brawl down in Seaside. Surprise, surprise.
Shocking.
And a friend of ours tried to break it up, and the guy swung around wild and opened up his cheek area. He had to get 2 stitches in his cheek.
Damn.
I didn't get it. I didn't have a scratch on me in the fight.
You're like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. You gotta be.
Don't stick your fucking nose in there.
That's
it's kind of like your thing with the police and the guy dredging the rivers.
Yeah. You don't need it.
Don't get involved.
No, keep it to you. Unless you can really take care of business, right? If you can't take care of business.
I love how passionate you are about that. Like, stay out of it.
Yeah, stay out of the business, man. You don't need to be part of it. You don't need to be part of what's going on. Nobody needs. I mean, I'm not saying people should ignore the present tense. Like, if you see a guy throw a gun in a river, real time.
Yeah.
Okay, call the cops. Hey, there's a gun in that river.
Yeah.
But you don't dig up the past. Past is the past.
Right.
That's done. That part of the Matrix is closed. That program's finished.
Okay.
That's a big thing. It's kind of goofy. Well, your kids play video games. I used to play video games. There's these people online that are making a ton of money being... Do you know what an NPC is in video games?
Non-player character.
Very good. There's people that... with millions of subscribers who are just non-player characters. And people buy them stuff, and they'll just say stupid stuff, and people will watch them.
Right.
They've turned themselves into non-player characters in life.
Yeah, well, this will be the last episode of Talking on Toilets. I'm getting a new profession. NPC.
At $7,000 a month, why not?
It's not enough.
You don't think so? As extra income.
Oh, as extra.
An hour out of your day? 2 hours out of your day to say stupid shit?
As extra, that's fine. All right, I thought you meant that was the sole income.
Oh, well, I'm sure for these kids it is. As an
Yeah.
adult, yeah, no.
Because that's 84 a year minus taxes.
Probably 50 grand a year. But if you're 21 and live in your mom's basement or whatever.
Different, yeah.
The girls never live in the basement. The girls are always living in a bedroom. It's always the guys who live in the basement.
Women has the easiest lives.
Think so?
Dude, come on now. They get drinks bought for them, dinner bought for them. All they have to do is put garbage on their face
And avoid the occasional rape
and go to the gym.
and the occasional
No.
harassment.
Look, you don't avoid it. That's how you keep getting shit bought for you.
They bring it to the line and don't cross it.
What happens is if you don't give it up, shit's going to happen. Some guy, he wants a little return on
Not
his
in this
investment.
room. We got to clear that. Not in this room. No ROI on this room. But I do understand what you're saying from other people.
Oh, come on. You know, we're pushing
To the limit.
pushing some nonsense
Yeah,
here.
of course. But
Yeah.
so I mean, so that's the easiest of the jobs. Then what happens when they get knocked up?
Being
and
a
have to
woman?
raise, yeah, they got to raise kids if they get knocked up for this lifestyle.
Well, that's a different lifestyle.
And you're career minded. What happened?
Then you've changed your career.
What happened to your career? Like you were Mary
no
Tyler
longer
Moore
hoe.
or whatever.
You're no longer hoe. You're
No.
no longer hot hoe.
So you're saying
Your mom.
there's a pile of them that are working class hot hoes? That's your profession? Well, there's sugar babies or whatever they're getting paid.
Working class is not what I would say.
All right, let's see what the term would be. They're
working the system.
right. But that's every system. There's somebody working it.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't
Yeah,
make
you
it.
just have to identify them. That's
Right.
all.
And then it's up to you as a conscious consumer as whether you want to jump into that lane or
There
you'll
you
steer
go.
clear.
Yeah. No doubt.
If you're of sound mind, I think you'll always steer clear. Right? There's
If you had a good sense of not just right and wrong morality, but a sense of where I'm at and what decision I make is going to lead into my future, right?
Right.
Like you need to be like, if I hook up with this hoe right now, she who just wants cash
and stuff. Right.
and stuff, right? This is going to be a lifetime me always having to make more money to make her happy.
Or there's going to be no attachment whatsoever. Just keep feeding the system.
Well, yeah. Well, then she's not interested in you anyway.
Right,
She's
but
only interested in your paycheck. So as soon as she finds somebody with a bigger paycheck, you're gone. So
Sure.
yeah, it's a one-upping type of.
But I would also think that at some
Right.
point,
I don't want to say any cultures that might.
don't do that.
All right, I'm gonna.
But there's got to be
It's the tequila talk.
Yes, it is. Now, there's got to be a point where even the savviest of those people get lazy and like, well, I don't really want to go look for the next check. I got my system eked out here with this guy. He's making money. He's making a little more money. He's making money. I don't really got to jump ship because I got a lifestyle.
Right.
I don't really need to, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm still not really into this dude. I'm still not really into anything, but he's paying my way. I'm sure there's a lot of relationships like that.
Yeah. Well, I think all relationships have that.
Components?
Well, all right. If you're gonna choose somebody, right?
Mhm.
You choose them for whatever attributes they have,
All right.
right?
Right.
So, if you're not like, Jason Momoa, a woman's gonna look at you for different shit. Either your brain, your sense of humor, your like you seem like a family guy.
Whatever.
You make a lot of cash, whatever. There's
But
always
that
something.
that could get you in trouble when it's materialistic,
But what I'm saying is that all relationships are
based on some foundation.
not necessarily material things, but some attribute that you have.
Sure.
You got to have something to rope them in, right?
Right.
And you to make a match with the other person. So there's always something. I mean, you just have to find the person that understands what they really want, and they make their decision, and they're like, you fit like whatever 80% of what I really want,
Sure.
and then they're okay with that, as opposed to the person who's like, oh, you got like 2 of the things I like, and I'll just hold on to that until. I don't think I've ever been cut off mid-sentence before. And take.
Until?
They just hold on to that until. What the fuck was my thought? God damn.
Until something better comes along.
Until something better comes along.
Now, that always comes with age, I think, too. If you start with nothing.
No. There's one-upping motherfuckers all throughout.
Sure.
Whatever. Because you'll find people that come from nothing that want to one-up to get to somewhere.
Right.
And then you'll find people who have things and then shit falls apart and it just gets uncomfortable. It's not the Beauty and the Beast romantic thing anymore.
Okay.
So they try to find the new exciting thing instead of realizing that eventually that new exciting thing is going to bring you back to the same exact place you're at right now.
Sure.
So they continually try to bring in new folks to keep it exciting, where it's the same shit over and over. You're probably better off working out whatever it is. You gotta let go of the stupid shit. The problem is people can't let go of their stupid shit.
Always.
I want. Like stop. You're not 6. You gotta stop saying I want.
Right.
You know, it would be nice to have, but in real life, in reality, this is what's good for me, right? You gotta take that over the fucking desire to be whatever, you know.
Right. But I meant with age was that when you're younger and you don't have anything, or you're just starting out,
right?
You only have those non-materialistic things: charm, whatever, funny, compatibility, whatever. Right. Then the money comes later, or the comfortability of that comes later.
Right.
It's does that person turn into that materialistic person? Because you've seen that a million times, right? All of a sudden, let's say somebody's got a big windfall. They prop up the whole relationship, and that person becomes a lifestyle they're accustomed to, right? Then the bottom falls out, and now it's up to either the dude or the chick is like, well, this lifestyle sucks now. I can't go back to where we were, which was not uncomfortable, but not this mega mansion or whatever, not the stuff.
Well, I think the problem is that people don't have backbone anymore, right? They're not willing to see it through.
Sure, long term.
Right, because
very
few have a meteoric rise forever.
Sure.
Doesn't happen. Even if you're, say, like a good-looking guy who's rich and becomes president and your name happens to be Kennedy, you're going to die at 32. Right? But everybody has problems.
You don't get that tea leaf, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no magic thing that somebody has the perfect life. It doesn't work. But so many people, and the way shit is now set up, like family court, it's so easy to bail, especially in New Jersey.
Yeah.
It's so easy to bail. And nobody has connection to family. Nobody has connection to religion. So they just dart out and they're gone. Just,
start over.
Starting over is always more fun, right?
Sure.
For 6 months, and then you're exactly where you were before.
Right. You're never ahead.
All the same shit. You never. It's so rare for you to like keep going up and up and up.
Right. Well, because the expectations change as you get the level higher.
Right.
So if you go up here and you come back down, you go up here and you come back down. It's if you go up here and you go to the next one. Well, because you don't want this. You want, slow dips and valleys, dip, raise and dip, raise and dip. So you build those foundations on those dips.
Right.
You see what everybody's made of.
Right. As long as your stock chart rises from the beginning to the end, you've done well.
It can't go like this, though. It's got to go like that. It's got to be gradual. Because then you don't feel the change as much.
Right. Well, because how many go here and
they just crash?
And that's great.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you don't feel the change, then it's solidify, right? Whether you're
Right.
making more money, whatever. You got
The only
a
way
relationship.
you rocket up and stay up there
Right.
is if you do something really magical,
Sure.
right?
A
Like
1 in a million.
you're Amazon,
Right.
right? You're selling books, and then all of a sudden you get into doing delivery service and all that shit, and you go, "Phew,"
Right.
and then you make so much money that
You can't fall. Too big to fail.
it doesn't even matter,
Right.
right? Like even if it does this much, for you as the CEO of Amazon, you're still making
Bank.
whatever 40 million a year or some crazy shit.
Some stupid
But
number.
as a person, you don't have that, right?
Very
Because you're getting older and you're declining. You're getting older, fatter, uglier. Your back hurts. You're bitter. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
You can't. You're not a business. You can't.
But what I'm saying is,
keep at that level.
But if you're with the partner and it's gradual, then you're both doing it together. You're both getting old together. You're getting miserable together. You're getting whatever together.
Right, but you're a team. If you
Right,
think of
that's
it,
what I'm saying.
Right, but if you're that, I'm saying if you're that one upper,
If you're the
person,
jumper, right?
that's you're gonna hit a wall.
Yeah.
Right?
Eventually can't go
Even
any
if
further.
you're the hottest person on the planet,
You're going to hit the wall.
it's not gonna last forever, right?
That's right.
It's not.
Beauty fades. Dumb is forever.
Oh, hey,
That's Judge Judy.
I love it. Maybe we should cut it off there.
Yeah. So
All right, folks.
stay beautiful.
TOT.
Later.